seem too far from my base. So when you die in this, you drop all your gear on your body, and you have to go and pick it up again. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't think I'll really need any spare food. I might just cook up a couple of different pieces here so that I can get to where I'm going faster. Feel so naked without my gear. Come on. Alright, let's not set myself on fire so I won't die. I don't think fire will 100% kill me with 25 health and no food, but it'll be close. It'll be a close call. 2 steps in the fire will definitely kill you if you are ungeared and unclothed. So, looks like I'm headed there. Hopefully I can get past that dwarf spawner without them coming after me. I should have got my rested bonus before I left the house, but it doesn't really matter too much. I'll be back for you, don't worry. Yeah, you can see how much slower stamina regenerates with you when you're not rested. So when you die, an indeterminate amount of time passes. So although it was nighttime when I died, it does appear that the night has gone. And if it didn't, then I just would have slept. And that would have been the best move, honestly, because then I would have gotten my rested bonus and gone through the night. But as it turns out, I did not think to do that, so now I have to be slow. And I have to play Dodge Simulator. So obviously, as you can imagine, dying and respawning with no gear at your bed, wherever your bed happens to be, gets progressively more difficult to return to your things. Say maybe you die on another continent and you have to drive a boat, or you die in a high level area. So there really are no levels in this game to your character specifically. The levels are your gear and your food. You do have skills, but your skill increase is it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is definitely your armor from gear, the weapon you're using, and the food you are eating. That's going to determine how well you do in a fight. So right now, although I was doing okay against skeletons and dwarves before, I am definitely not going to be doing okay against them now. I have to get back to my body, which is in the middle of a dungeon, surrounded by 2 skeletons. The only good thing about that whole situation is that I was able to tear down the evil bone pile, which does mean that there won't be just a bunch of skeletons having spawned there when I get back. So that is the only upshot of this situation. Now, if I remember correctly, I was in here. And, oh, okay, well, that happened. Fuck. Here's the tricky bit. Okay. Ugh. Is when they body block you. Shut that door on them. Get my gear back on. Eventually they will be able to get through that door. And I will make sure they are appropriately rewarded for their efforts. You can actually see how much durability is on that door. Actually, no, you can't, because I didn't build it, apparently. Come on through. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to open this up. Take a hit at him. He seems to be stuck in the door, thankfully. That guy can still shoot over the threshold, but not well enough to get me before I get him. Here's the next Vegvasier for the boss. He looks like he's probably on another island. I'll have to build a boat, but I was going to have to do that at some point anyway. Not a huge deal. And just sacrifice some pieces. I'm gonna need the skeleton trophies for another type of shield. Great Ore 5s are fairly abundant. Although, you usually want to trade out the most abundant build pieces that you can. Looks like I turned off auto pickup on accident. So now I have enough for one of the required pieces to start crafting metal gear, which will make these skeletons substantially easier. So if I recall correctly, there's nothing in here. Yes, that's correct. So my bow is running low on durability, as is my club. Nothing in here. Okay, it looks like there's an evil bone pile in there. Use this opportunity to do some damage and then back off. Have to not too bad. So as I said, the skeleton archers are a bit harder to stagger, but it's still quite doable. And what I really want to do is take this bone pile out before it spawns like a 2-star in or something more dangerous. Really want to take this thing out. That's just a 1-star archer. I don't think he'll be able to do too much to me before I can take the pile out. Another boss altar, just in case I wasn't sure where I was before. Grab this stuff. My carry weight is still decent, and I believe now I have enough for my metal smithing gear. And that's all that's on this side, and I like to leave the doors open just so I can remember where I've been. These things are kind of mazy. Just some that. Yep. Anything in here? Not really. A lot of flint head arrows. Those will be nice if I run into a troll anywhere. But there does not seem to be any surtling cores here, which is fine. This was a pretty hefty dungeon. Had a lot of them. Alright, so I do seem to be kind of stuck here. Okay, no, I'm good. Swap back to my knife, because there's Grey Dwarves, and Grey Dwarves are far weaker to piercing than they are to anything else. No, it's just a big rock, not a troll. Thought I saw a troll. That was concerning. But I'm gonna take some shots at this spawner here. I know it's probably not the best idea in the world to try to take this thing down right now, but I think if I can just get it and get out. It's obviously a tree, so it's fairly weak to axes. There we go. Nice and easy. Nothing too hard there. Now just get away from Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here. Take a shot at that deer. Fucking crude bows suck. A lot of deer there. That, even a crude bow can hit that shot. Of course, I have no space in my inventory for that. Alright. Okay. And let's get out with Eikthyr, which is just gone off cooldown. Nice and easy. Zoom away from these guys now. There's a pig. These guys aren't going to chase me, as it seems. Not too scared of them. I don't really want to fight them right now. They're a bit much. They do tend to stay away from fire, so... Oh, you can make torches. Shame I dropped all my resin back there. Although, to be honest, those guys... It takes kind of a lot of torch swings to knock them down. Got him. Nice. Nice and easy. So the next thing I'm going to need is a bunch of rocks, which is not super hard to come by. Obviously there's rocks all over the place. I'm probably going to try to find the rocks in the Black Forest, that way I can keep exploring. There are also trolls in the Black Forest, which drop troll leather, or troll hide, which is used to make a much better armor set than the leather I'm currently wearing. It's also the first piece of armor with a set bonus. It gets plus 15 to sneak, and as you saw earlier, the difference between 0 and 5 sneak is enough to sneak up on a deer or not. So, troll armor is also pretty good. As well as just having, it has more armor than all of this stuff I'm wearing combined, almost. It's got a lot of nice armor. Kind of want to make a path, but I'm going to sleep first so that I make sure to get my rested bonus. In your dream, the forest rises before you, dragging the trees upward like a cloak, its dark mass hiding the stars. A mountain's peak, vast antlers frame the moon. That's quite the imagination our guy's got. More power to him. Seeds up top. Got some core wood. Different build pieces you can make with that. Put these with the gold and the stones. As far as hides go, probably going to want a separate chest for hides altogether. but it's not a huge deal. Seem to be running out of space in this one. I'm also probably going to want to make a second antler pickaxe because it does run out of durability fairly quickly. Because, I mean, to be fair, it's just hard bone going up against metal and rock. Not exactly the first choice. I will be able to make a bronze pickaxe a bit later once I start getting an ample amount of bronze, but there's a few things I'm going to make before I make the bronze pickaxe. Oh, okay. Hopefully, okay. Well, you know, it didn't break anything too badly, so. So trees falling on you does do a certain amount of damage depending on where you are when the tree hits. So you don't want a tree to fall on your head, obviously. It also hurts enemies, funnily enough, so you can take some enemies down with that little trick if you were so inclined. Nice and easy, and of course it also damages other trees, which is helpful for knocking multiple down at the same time. Huh. Looks like a bit of birch got knocked down as well. That might come in handy. So you normally can't break birch until you get a bronze axe. However, it is possible to break it by slamming other fallen trees into it. So it is possible to cheese your way to a what's it called? Some of the things that take fine wood, which drops from the birches. I'm gonna throw down a couple here. That's fine. I'm gonna start breaking rocks now. Get my smelter up. Regain stamina. Takes a while for this pickaxe to go through the rocks, but it is all I can do at the moment. Uh, 26. Want 40, ideally. And there's going to be more rock underground, but I don't really need to worry too much about that. And 38 and 40. Take this little guy out. Don't need to worry about him. And now it is time to add on the Bronze Age build pieces, or at least a couple of them, the foundational ones. Here we have the charcoal kiln, and this is why the hoe is so important, and the smelter, yeah. And because I have this wood here, I can now make some build pieces for them, or just some housing. Basically, is what I want for them. Take this thing down because it's in the way. Building this little thing to keep enemies from whacking on them. Take a pickaxe to this. Hey, asshole. Can you not? This is exactly why we build a wall. The Grey Dwarves are coming, and they are not sending their best. Looks like I need to deepen this a little bit. I doubt I'm going to need a shield for anything in the meadows. There we go. That's ugly. You know, I'm just going to do some of these little round poles here. And maybe hoe it out a bit. There we go, nice and easy. There we go. Looks pretty good. Suppose I kind of also want to level this out if I can. Make like a little path area. That way I can get over here nice and easily. Put a second crafting bench like here maybe. Looks like I need to hoe it out a little bit more. Or pick it maybe. Nice and easy. So using the combination of the hoe and the pick, you can make some very tight little borders here. And I'll drop crafting table and a couple of ladders so that I can actually get up here easily. No fucking sweat. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. You know, get some coal going for when I get back from the Black Forest. And I seem to be good on food for the most part. Got a decent amount of arrows. Suppose I can upgrade my hammer, give it a bit more durability. Same for the hoe. And is that rain or is that it's not nighttime, it's rain looks like. That would be great if I could sleep and not have to go to the Black Forest while it's super rainy. If you notice, wet debuff goes away pretty quickly when you're near a fire and indoors. Which is the qualifier for getting a rested bonus. Another thing you can do if you want to get a rested bonus quickly, or a better rested bonus, is you can drop a bit of furniture. Looks like I got another piece here too, a maypole. And that just seems to require some dandelions, some wood, and some thistles. It looks like it would be pretty nice to have a maypole. 10 wood. Just one more. Should be fine. And then it is off to the Black Forest. Did I not pick that wood up? Apparently not. Put it... That looks pretty good. Anyway. Time to go to the Black Forest. I will put my bow there. Hammer. Knife. Shield. And if you throw your gear on your back, you can get around much faster, because it doesn't give you the speed debuff that comes from equipping pretty much all gear except for a knife. Leather armor does not give you a speed debuff. Most other armors do. Troll hide armor does not. There's one piece of armor in the game, the Fenris armor, that gives you a speed increase. But that is not normal. And I normally just avoid upgrading my leather gear because frankly it's a lot of work to upgrade leather gear, and troll gear is just better, as is bronze armor, honestly. So it's normally not worth it to put in the effort to upgrade your leather gear when what you're going to do is basically replace it with either troll armor, mail armor, or a mix of the two. The benefit of mail or bronze mail is that it is very tanky, but it also reduces your speed by 10% if you're in chest and legs. The helm does not lower your speed. So it's actually not a bad idea to get one piece of troll armor. There is the Great Orc Brute. And if he doesn't see you, bows do a lot more damage. It looks like his buddy seems to have run off. Clearly, knives are not ideal. You usually want to try to parry these big guys. Although that can be kind of difficult when you have a wooden shield. Notice he still did a fair amount of damage even though I parried him. Once I get the bronze buckler, it'll be a lot easier to take those guys out. And if you get a bronze sword, it becomes very easy. So there's two types of metal in the Black Forest. Both are definitely necessary. You have the there's Bozo number 2, and of course I shot right over his head because I'm an idiot. They do not fight with the necks, regrettably. I believe all of the Black Forest and not Black Forest mobs tend to be allied. Oh crap, that's not good. Okay. So So I'm going to try to kite backwards. It can be a bit easier if you take the little guys out first, because they tend to get in the way of you focusing on the major threat, which is the brute, clearly, who has that big stone club. Is that part of his arm, or is he holding it? I can never tell. It doesn't actually matter too much. They also have a ranged attack, which the brute, for all of his many qualities, does not. Appears to be somewhat at half health. See if I can... that's doable. Alright, he did a big chunk of my health there, but I did a big chunk of his. We'll just kite backwards with the bow. And I can miss. Oh my goodness. He does little fake outs. Kind of funny. There we go. And he dropped an ancient seed, which is one of the things I'll need to summon the boss. I believe you need 3. That would be the first one I've found. I believe the dwarf nests drop them when you break them. I did not pick that one up, apparently. I'll have to go back to where the dwarf nest was and see if I can bust it open. Find it. I'm gonna pop Ike here to get there faster. It's usually worth it to make a small base in the Black Forest. You can be there for days at a time without having to constantly be running back and forth. So I'm probably going to try to clear out one of these towers, take it for myself. The dwarf tower is usually the easiest. I cannot repair the stone tower yet, unfortunately. That requires iron to build a stone cutter. Nice and easy. And I also have not come across any trolls, which is also unfortunate. But eventually I'm sure I will, because that seems to be a troll cave right there. So, not all dungeons in the Black Forest are created equal. You have troll caves, such as those. And then you have the skeleton dungeons, which are where the Surtling cores are. Now, trolls by themselves do a lot of damage, and they have a lot of health. And they're quite an ordeal to take down. But they're pretty easy to dodge their attacks, because they're fairly slow. And even though they have large, slow attacks... Nope. Do not want to get poisoned. They do... yeah, they have large, slow attacks, but they're pretty easy to get out of the way of. Now, if they hit you, you might just die. But it's worth it. You're going to have to kill them eventually, just so you can, you know, have their armor, which is not required, but very helpful. Very, very helpful, for sure. Now, what I want to be looking for here is copper, which looks like that. Little rocks with lines through it. And I'm also going to be looking for tin. And got a little party of gray dwarves here. And take them out. They're not super hard if you have decent armor and a shield. But this is why I wanted to get the leather armor on first, so that I can actually deal with these guys efficiently. Yeah, I think they do about 10 damage a hit, so with a shield and the 6 armor provided by leather armor, you don't really have to worry about them. Doing 4 or 5 damage a hit, that's nothing, provided you don't just like stand in the middle of them and get staggered. Now the brutes clearly do about 30 damage a hit, because he was hitting me for about 24, 25. So that's a whole other animal. But far as the dwarves are concerned, you can usually just stand in front of them with 5 armor. And they just keep coming though. They do keep coming. Just as well, I'm gonna need their eyes for portals. Their eyes have magical properties. You can build teleporters out of them. Eventually I'm going to want to make a portal. In fact, I'm going to try to find a place I can make a second base over here to store metal in so I can just get in and out. Don't want to get too close to the mountain because I'll start taking freezing damage. If I recall, there was a tower over here somewhere. There it is. Now, whichever one I get to, the dwarf tower or the... Oh, there's a troll. Okay, so I hope I have enough arrows, or bow durability, really, to deal with them. Thankfully, he does not... Okay, now he sees me. I'm going to switch over to the flint head arrows. They have a really bad aim with their rocks, thankfully. Otherwise, I might have some trouble. But like I said, you can usually just run away from them, kite backwards. Make sure you're not pinned up against a rock or a tree or anything. That's the one time they really get you. But they tend to be pretty slow, get caught on shallow obstacles like that. They have very bad aim. So, as you can see, they're not the biggest threats. Just a little agility on your part, some good arrows. Bring the big fellas down, and my bow broke, so that's a problem. So what we're gonna have to do is wait for him to take a swing and not miss your knife attack. That'd be nice. It helps to be going downhill. I'm gonna see if I can get him. So that did some damage. Looks like a couple more hits ought to bring big fella here down. There we go. Thankfully they are weak to piercing, which is another reason why you need to use a knife in the Black Forest, or at least have a knife. Just in case some crap like that happens and you run out of bow durability or arrows fighting a troll. Definitely going to want to build a crafting bench here soon. These guys are very, very fightable.